Okay. Das führt... Oh! Was? Das zur Hölle. So. Vorsichtig. Peppe.
Scanning power junction relays. This panel is malfunctioning. Without more data, I cannot determine if this is a normal malfunction or sabotage.
I'll just disable power to the panel until Raj can check it out.
Okay, mache ich doch mal. Wie mache ich denn das? Achso, hat er jetzt glaube ich schon gemacht. So. Dann habe ich hier unten was. Dachte ich. Ah doch, da. Ah.
Scan and trace the wiring to locate the panel that the saboteur used.
Warte mal. Machen wir hier lang. Und ob wir tatsächlich einen Bösewicht finden. Hi. Bam, bam. Excuse me. Warte.
Scanning. This panel has been tampered with.
Send the data to Raj.
Yes, Pathfinder.
Noise. Und jetzt auf zur Milizia. Ah, hier ist noch ein Techniker.
Pathfinder, I received the data from Sam. It really is sabotage.
Any idea as to who it might be?
Yeah. All these panels were worked on by Zara. I just can't believe it.
Security video logs confirm that Zara Kellis worked on these panels, as well as the one Raj Patil encountered.
Well, shit. Any idea where she is now?
Kellis is currently working on a panel on the Hyperion main deck.
Achso, das ist auch noch eine Quest. Nice. Gehen wir erstmal zu der guten Sarah. Ich glaube, ich muss hier lang, oder? Bisschen Bahn fahren, glaube ich. Oh, hi Cora. Brumm, brumm, brumm. Oh, schon da. So. Ich muss sagen, das Spiel hat eine große Ladezeit am Anfang, wenn man das Safe Game lädt, aber danach geht's eigentlich. Das gefällt mir ganz gut. Oh, jetzt ist hier aber auch mehr los. Hallo, Sarah.
Zara Kellis?
Yes?
I have evidence you've been sabotaging the Nexus.
What? No, I'd never... I've been looking into this myself. I have the scans to prove it. Here. I'll transfer the scans I took to your Omni tool.
Funny. Raj was investigating the same thing, and it led us to you.
My scans point at Raj as the one. So unless someone was setting us both up, I just don't understand.
The data Miss Kellis has accumulated is strangely similar to Mr. Patil's. A third party seems likely.
The real saboteur could be setting you both up.
Because we both figured out something was going on? That would make sense. It's better than thinking Raj could have done this. But it means all the data I have is useless. Wish I had access to the security cams. I bet we could find something there.
You stay put, so whoever did this doesn't realize we're onto them. I'll check out the security cams. Raj, you there?
Right.
Yes. How did it go? Is it really her?
Wasn't her. She had proof pointing at you. I figure someone's been messing with you both. Just keep a low profile and don't talk to anyone. I'm on it.
Interessant. Ich würde jetzt mal vermuten, dass wir zur Militia-Seite müssen, oder? Das ist ja bestimmt der Security Endpoint. Hallo, hallo. Und wieder zurück. Ah. Kann das tatsächlich entscheiden, wo ich hin will. So. Operations. Badam, badam. Oh, ist nicht auch jemand von meinem Schiff? Ja. Ja. Ach du, Molly. Security footage.
This file is useless. Let's check another.
Okay, Security Footage 2.
And another scrambled file.
Coincidence seems unlikely.
Let's check another.
Warum nicht?
This file is also corrupted. Definitely not a coincidence. You'd need pretty high clearance to mess with the security camera files. Someone working for Kandros, maybe.
That is the most probable scenario.
Think you can get enough out of the files to find a match using biometric scans, Sam?
The files were badly scrambled, but if I combine all the available identifiers, it might work. Based on the limited information available, we are looking for a human male, assigned either to the Nexus or Hyperion. You will need to conduct scans from close proximity.
Got it.
Hä? Okay. Warum von der Hyperion?
This is wrong. Just wrong.
Biometrics do not match.
What am I going to do?
Ja, 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 ja. Ich kümmere mich gleich um dich.
Biometrics do not match.
Was macht denn der da? Hallo? What the hell? Achso, jetzt ist er hier runter. Ja, definitiv hier runter. Oh, hallo. Stepptanzen. So. Und einmal in das Wohndeck. So, hier ganz in der Nähe schon. Ja.
This person is not a match.
Alright, aber das waren alle, oder? Ne, doch nicht. Hier unten sind noch irgendwo Leute. Okay. Nah dran. Okay. Okay.
This person is not a match.
Hä?
Scan results show a partial positive.
Oh,
Target is most likely suspect.
hallo,
Dale
Dale Atkins.
Reports to Kandros' department, assigned to station security.
Dale Atkins, right? We need to talk.
Look, not to be rude, but I have work to do.
We know what you've been up to. You're done here.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just doing my job, that's all.
Proof says you've been up to no good.
Figures. Screw this. Screw all you hypocrites on this station. You weren't here when they kicked out our loved ones. Mutiny? We just wanted answers. My sister is out there. I don't even know if she's alive or...
I'm sorry for what happened, but setting explosives isn't the answer.
Neither was sending people into exile because they didn't agree with policy. I don't care what you think. The mutiny leaders were right to demand to know what was going on.
You could have hurt people, killed them.
Like those who got killed when the leadership had the Krogan stomp on my friends? I'm done talking. I confess, it was me. Do whatever you want.
Not my call. The Nexus leaders will make that decision.
That lot make a decision. That'll be the day.
Okay, das war ja relativ easy dann. Viability Points. Okay, ist das sowas wie so ein Vertrauensbarometer? Ja, interessant. Okay. Ich würde jetzt aber ganz gerne wieder zurück zu Operations gehen, weil ich ja da noch diesen anderen Sidequest hatte. Und wir haben ja auch ein Level abbekommen. Könnten wir ja vielleicht auch mal so ausgeben, ne? Was haben wir denn hier noch? Ach, das sind 2%. Lohnt sich das echt? Lohnt sich das echt, da zu investieren? 10 HP. Wird das noch größer, je weiter man das... das sieht man nicht, ne? Oh, Moment. Das erste sind 2... Ah. Weapon Loadout. Nice. Ah, okay. Naja, vielleicht ist das tatsächlich gar nicht mal dumm. Ich meine, das ist wirklich, wirklich nutzlos. Aber... Und das hier finde ich ganz nett, glaube ich. Ich glaube, das mache ich. So. Ach ja, das war Melee oder Jump Jets. Mhm. Confirm. So. Ich denke, ich werde auf jeden Fall eine Zusatzwaffe tragen wollen. Also, dann kann ich das jetzt auch schon mal machen. So. Hello, hello. It's me. Da. Oh, was liegt dir auf dem Herzen?
What am I going to do? It's not right. It's not fair.
What's wrong?
Oh my, you're... So it's true. A Pathfinder has found us. There's hope at last. Maybe you could help. You're impartial. This whole thing has gotten so political. My husband, he's locked up and slated for exile for a crime he didn't commit.
What exactly was he convicted of?
They don't exile you for petty theft. Well, maybe this bunch would. They say it's murder. They're calling him the first murderer in Andromeda, but the dead man was his friend. He wouldn't have...
Mhm.
There are witnesses and evidence, but it's all circumstantial. At worst, it was an accident. His name is Nilken Rensis. He could give you the details if you were willing to speak with him. Please.
Na gut, machen wir mal.
I'd be happy to.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure the jailer will allow you a visit. Please, tell Nilken I love him.
Gehen wir mal den ersten Mörder in Andromeda besuchen. So, hi. Du bist Sergeant Aker.
Help you?
Pathfinder Ryder, here to see Nilken Rensis.
Ah, our murderer. Wife's here all the time. Guess she told you her sob story. Nilken, you're moving up in the world. There's a Pathfinder wanted to chat with you.
The Pathfinder, huh? They called in the big guns to exile Andromeda's first murderer.
I'm not here to exile you. Told your wife I'd look into things.
At this point, it's too late. They found me guilty.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
I was part of the futile effort to set up a colony on Eos. We were on our last legs, overrun by hostiles, our leader dead. The security chief, Reynolds, my friend, he refused to call for evacuation. I argued with him. Everyone saw.
So when he was killed, people assumed you did it?
For good reason. He ordered us to regroup and counterattack. We were moving through a sandstorm. I saw movement, thought it was the Ket, and I guess I panicked and fired. A witness saw the chief's chest explode.
Sounds like an accident.
That's what I told them. But I was enraged when we argued. There's a recording. It's ugly. Everyone's certain I did it on purpose so we could evacuate. Only my word otherwise.
I'll check out the evidence. Maybe something doesn't add up.
It'd be nice to have someone with an open mind looking at it. You're a Pathfinder. I'm sure Kandros would give you access. Maybe there's still hope.
Alright. Diesmal kann ich also nicht einfach mich an den Rechner setzen und irgendwelche Security Footage anschauen. Hallo.
I know that look. The others bent your ear, did they?
Something like that?
You get used to it. Just focus on being a Pathfinder. Can't argue with results, though they'll try. Anyway, welcome to Militia HQ. Excuse the mess. This office fields militia work, Nexus security, and looking for the Tyrian Ark.
What's the word on the Tyrian Ark?
Scattered readings. Some indicate the Natanus was destroyed, others that people are alive. Who knows? If you need anything, come see me, even if it's just a vent.
Even if it's just a vent.
I spoke with Nilken Rensis, the man found guilty of the murder on Eos.
Yes, our first murder here in Andromeda. I wish it had been our last. When the colony attempts failed, it didn't help spirits that a high-ranking officer was killed by one of our own. The mutiny here on Nexus was probably inevitable, but this acted as a spark.
So there was a trial and he was found guilty?
It was short and decisive. Despite the lack of physical evidence, everything added up. His only defense was, trust me, I didn't mean to do it.
That is the difference between murder and accidental death.
In this case, motive plus opportunity plus eyewitness account equals murder. Look, knock yourself out. A key witness, Cassidy Shaw, works in operations. Go ahead and talk to her.
Knock
And there's a
yourself
recording of the
out.
perpetrator threatening the victim. I'll let you cue it up on the console there. As far as I'm concerned, this case is closed.
Okay, das war jetzt für den Sidequest. Jetzt kann ich noch so
What brought you out here
Informationen
to Andromeda?
einholen.
I was tired of being the good one.
The good one?
The Kandros family is old military. There were expectations, you know. Then my sister became a sculptor and cousin Irene went pirate on Omega. Everyone was proud that I stayed in service. But I kept wondering, when do I get my adventure? Jen Garson's dream was so grand, so gutsy, I had to be part of it.
You talk like you weren't part of the leadership. How did you end up commanding the militia?
I was escorting a prospecting team on some moon when those Ket found us. They penned us like cattle for experiments. I managed to get loose, snatched a gun, and freed the others. By the time we killed the bastards and headed back to war in the Nexus, everyone looked at me like I was in charge.
That sounds familiar.
The militia grew from there. Funny, once the heat is on, all kinds of people rise to the top.
Are the other Turians managing okay?
So-so. We're not good at sitting around in a crisis. Service before self gets drummed into us at boot camp. That's probably why so many of us are in the militia. We like to earn our citizenship, whatever galaxy we're in. But it's hard to focus with our arc missing.
It's rough out there. I might need backup, if you can spare the people.
I have strike teams specializing in assault and extraction. If you need serious firepower, my Apex teams have you covered. In fact, I could give you authority to dispatch them. It'll cut down their response time.
Thank you.
Our current ops are on the terminal. See if there's anything that could use a shot where it counts.
What do you know about the enemies we've encountered? The Ket?
We usually see them on worlds with those alien structures. The Ket don't take kindly to anyone studying them. Not sure why. They don't talk to us. Every time we cross paths, there's a fight or they take prisoners.
Why? What do they want?
No one knows. But I've seen their weaponry and what they do to those prisoners. I want them a long, long way from the Nexus.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
Okay,
You and me
bye.
both, Pathfinder.
Ja, so, Playback Recording, sehr schön.
The Nexus versus Colonist Nilken, Evidence 7A.
Hiram! Hiram! They've seized the compound! Call for evacuation! We're not giving up, Nilken. We're taking it back. No! I'm not letting your ego get us killed! Even if I have to... No! Get him off me! Get him off me!
Wir haben wohl miteinander gerungen. Was kann uns Shaw noch Nützliches mitgeben? So, Shaw. Tack.
Cassidy Shaw? I'm Scott Ryder. I'm looking into the Nilken murder case.
Oh man, I thought that was over with. Have you heard the audio recording of their fight?
Yes.
I helped pull him off Chief Reynolds. You could see it in his eyes. He was gonna kill him. Then in the sandstorm, I had a pretty clear view of the chief. He looked right at Nilken and shouted no. Then his chest burst open. I'll never forget it. The look on his face was pure shock.
Did you see any Ket in the vicinity?
Nilken said so, but not that I could see. Still, the sandstorm was severe. Visibility wasn't great.
Reynolds was leading you back to retake the compound. Did you agree with that?
It wasn't my place to agree or disagree. He was ranking officer. In retrospect, it is ironic. If he hadn't been killed, we all probably would have died.
If they'd fought and Nilken threatened to kill him, why was Reynolds surprised?
Naja,
Fronts fight, say things they don't mean, maybe even hurt each other.
ich aber auch
But you
sagen,
don't expect your best friend to shoot you.
wäre auch ein bisschen
To me,
überrascht.
that's the saddest part. The chief's heart was broken right before it exploded.
Did Nilken seem remorseful?
I lost sight of Nilken in the turmoil. When we found him, he seemed in shock. He couldn't speak. He looked nauseated. Could have been guilt. The reality of the act sinking in.
I appreciate the information.
Ja, ich kann da jetzt aber
Of
nichts
course, it
ausziehen
kills me we
irgendwie.
had to leave him behind. He deserved a proper funeral.
So the body was never examined? Important piece of a murder investigation.
Tian wouldn't allow a mission to go back for him. Said it was too dangerous.
Na gut, aber was soll Tan denn mir dann jetzt sagen? Auch nichts anderes, oder? Hello.
Ryder, you have my condolences for your father.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know him very well, although I understand he played a key role in planning the initiative. I'm sure he'd be concerned that we still have several arcs missing.
Any idea where they went?
Nothing certain, but tens of thousands of colonists are unaccounted for. It paints the initiative in an unflattering light. Did you have some other business?
Yep.
I'm looking into the Nilken Rensis murder charge.
And?
I want to go to EOS and retrieve Chief Reynolds' body.
That isn't usually Pathfinder business.
First murder in Andromeda. And I'm impartial. Figured you'd want to get it right.
Settling an outpost comes first. But I suppose I have no objections. Physical evidence will only bolster the case.
The more certain we can be, the better.
All right, but let's keep it quiet. I don't want people thinking we're reopening the case. I hope anything you find reaffirms what's been done, but if it sheds a different light, we'll deal with it. We'll send the coordinates of the murder scene. Good luck.
Vielleicht doch ein okayer Typ. Ich hätte gedacht, er will das einfach nur schnell abschließen.
It sounds like the Nexus has had a rough time of it.
Publicly, I would say we're more than up for the challenge. Privately, I can tell you, it's been a disaster. The Scourge killed hundreds, many of them our senior leadership. Even the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, is dead.
How did Jean Garson die?
With the rest of the leadership. When the Nexus hit the Scourge, a large wing of stasis pods was destroyed. They were killed instantly. These people traveled 600 years and died before they even woke up. Jean Garson never glimpsed Helios. She never saw her vision realized.
Cantor's mentioned something about hitting the Scourge. How did it play out?
Criminal elements took advantage of the emergency and preyed on people's fears. An uprising followed. We had no choice but to turn to the Krogan to deal with them. They crushed the mutiny and the criminals were banished. Exiles, we call them. I doubt we've heard the last of them. They're led by an outlaw, Sloane Kelly. She used to be one of ours.
Sloan.
Who is this Sloane Kelly?
She was head of security on the Nexus. She opposed the uprising at first, but eventually turned traitor and joined them. Misguided sympathy for the plight of the common citizen? Nonsense. They posed a direct threat to our existence.
There don't seem to be many Krogan around.
Good riddance. The Krogan demanded a greater say in political matters. The last place you want them involved. Their muscle, nothing more. Good for fighting and lifting heavy objects. When they didn't get what they wanted, they left.
Okay. Das war vielleicht aber auch rechtfertigt.
It's common knowledge that they are a violent, ignorant species. Long ago, they waged nuclear war on one another. Their planet was decimated. My people tried to uplift them, but the Krogan could never tame their worst instincts. What if they bring their tempers to Andromeda? We'll all be dead.
What more can you tell me about the initiative?
Also noch eine
It
Fraktion.
represents the greatest migration ever attempted. No one had ventured beyond the Milky Way before. We've all left home in search of freedom, fortune, perhaps a new beginning. We are the bravest souls each species has to offer. I hope the Nexus will serve as the seat of government for us all.
Oh, der hat aber viel
What do
zu
you know
sagen.
about the early days of the initiative?
As most everyone knows, Gian Garson's vision made it happen. She was an entrepreneur on Earth. Wealthy. Young for a human. Garson had the idea for the initiative in the early 2170s, I believe. Many thought leaving the Milky Way was impossible. But she persevered. And as with most great ideas, the doubters were wrong.
Why do you think most people came?
There are thousands of reasons, one for every colonist here. What does any pilgrim seek? Usually, happiness. Finding the thing that eludes them, the thing to fulfill them. While we cannot promise they will find it, we can facilitate the search.
It looks like a melting pot around here.
The Nexus is home to several initiative species. Many came ahead of the Arks. The hope is that this station will one day serve as the governing body in Andromeda. Though I'm not sure what they were thinking, lumping Krogan into the mix.
Oh, meine Güte.
As a Solarian, my kind tend to have a low opinion of them. Nothing I've seen here has changed that.
Komm, andere. 10.
As director of the initiative, are you in charge around here or what?
If the others would allow me, they don't see me as the rightful successor.
So how does anything get done?
In theory, Kesh handles the Nexus's physical operations, Kandros runs the militia, and Addison manages colonial affairs. I oversee all of it. In practice, we argue, debate, and yell at each other until a decision is made. If we're lucky.
Erinnert mich irgendwie an meine Arbeit.
Maddening.
What's their problem with you?
I am not Gian Garson. Our founder was charismatic, eccentric, larger than life. Traits I cannot hope to mimic. She and her inner circle perished in the Scourge, some at the hands of the Exiles, some never made it out of stasis. I was deputy assistant for revenue management. Then all 7 leaders above me died. I was next in line for the role.
Revenue Management? Was?
So,
Ein
you're an
Buchhalter.
accountant?
Don't let that fool you. We are all capable of more than we know. When I was young, I was fascinated by the idea of exploring space. Life had its detours, and I went a different direction. Then I heard about the initiative, and saw my chance to try the path not taken. While I may not be setting foot on new worlds, my authority can ensure that you do.
Right. Sorry.
So.
Any more information you can give me on the missing arcs?
No, and that is the distressing part. The Asari, Turian, and Solarian arcs are completely unaccounted for. If they had the same problems with the Scourge that we did, I fear the worst. Should you find any clues, please investigate. Without the other arcs, the promise of the initiative can never be fulfilled.
Are there any other arcs we should expect?
We had hoped Quarians would be part of the first wave, but before departure in 2185, we got word they had technical problems with their ship. It seems they're also bringing along Drell, Hanar, and other species as well. Managing all of their biological needs caused complications. We won't see them for some time to come.
Okay.
What do I need to consider in making a planet viable?
Assuming the planet supports life, an outpost is critical. People like a roof over their heads, and you'll want to eliminate any hostile threats. Whether that's the cat or other terrors lurking in Helios, colonists being murdered on sight can be discouraging. Also, scouting and mapping terrain is a priority for any Pathfinder. And don't forget forward stations. You'll want those.
Forward stations?
What can you tell me about forward stations?
I was afraid you'd ask. It's mostly what the engineers tell me. A forward station allows mining, equipment repairs, and resupply for field teams. I mean, who wouldn't want that? But seeing as how every colonization effort has failed, it's just theory at the moment. You get to test it out, Ryder.
Oh, danke.
That's all. Thanks for your time.
Okay.
I'm happy to help. You will find our futures depend on each other's success. Good luck.
Okay. Ich finde tatsächlich, das Gespräch hat ihn ein bisschen sympathischer gemacht. Also abgesehen von seinem Hass auf die Kroganer.